Running full system diagnostics. Machine status fully operational.
Yo, YouTube. This week at Bungie, we have a weather forecast. No, seriously. We got snow and other things coming, so let's hop to it. In this week's TWABs, Bungie talks about some of the incoming technical changes that will be occurring in Destiny come November 10th. Some of these changes we'll be able to visually see, while others remain a part of the background infrastructure that helps the game get delivered to us. When I first read this, I started getting excited, coming from a technical background and knowing and being ready to see them start to push the boundaries of the game and how we interact with things. It's something I've always wanted to see in Destiny, and I'm glad they're taking steps towards that. So, without further delay, let's get ready to hop into this breakdown. So the first topic they talk about is the change of the mission scripting model. This is basically how the player and the environment react to each other. They talk about how they are moving from using the mission host and now using the physics host to dictate the flow of mission activities and how the enemies and obstacles react to you, the player, when doing things. They talked about this in an earlier TWAB back on the 27th of May. So if you want to check that out, you can go over there, go onto the website and find that. What my takeaway from this is that, and I'm going to use this as an example, is the weather on Europa and how it changes and how that will affect our movement in combat. Apply that to enemies and interactive objects, and then boom, you got yourself some wild and more satisfying interactive moments when you're with your engagements. This means like the enemies won't just shoot at you, they'll actually strategically move around to engage with you and vice versa. They do go on to say that coming with these changes and new implementations will be some bugs that they're already working on solutions for, but because of the next new integrations, they will be able to address them a bit faster than usual. Alongside this, we have areas like the EDZ and Nessus getting a lighting update, which hopefully means that we get to see some day and night things happening on the planet, or maybe some weather changes alongside on those as well. It would be really cool. Since we get weather effects on Europa, I would really like to see something similar on the EDZ, where it rains and the tide rises, and in some areas flooding occurs, i.e. lost sectors like the Winding Cove and so on. I don't know, but it's just an idea. Hopefully the bugs with the new implementations of things aren't too severe, and we are already losing a dungeon for a few months because of this. I hope they have it covered. Speaking of bugs, that brings me on to the next topic that they talk about, the content building and delivery pipeline. They state that they've invested more into the infrastructure so that they can deliver us a cleaner and faster and more condensed game. That's it right there for me. Condensed game and faster. Two things in the tech world that are like music to my ears. Nothing better than having something become more streamlined to fit the needs of the user. They touch on the goals here for this by stating the game will be reduced in size by 30 to 40%, bringing the game's total size down to roughly around 52 to 71 gigs, I believe. It would also allow for faster delivery of the patching when hot fixes need to be dished out, stating it gives them about a week to 2 weeks headroom when seasons ship out, instead of having to wait until the season is like a month or two in production before they are able to put out any fixes or bug hot fixes when issues arise. This turnaround is huge from a technical standpoint, but we can't really celebrate yet because it's as good as it sounds on paper. Seeing its execution will be a little bit better. Oh yeah, this is also supposed to help with preload times come November. They also mentioned that the game will basically be a new installation, so it's going to have to uninstall and then it'll reinstall itself on your preferred platforms. And I'm kind of saying rip the consoles because that's a lot of downloading. And then with all of the heavy technical stuff out the way, they are adding some details to our Guardians' faces and cosmetic stuff for them, for when new people create more Guardians, trying to open it up for more diversity. I'm not sure how this is going to work for our already created Guardians, but the end goal is to create more diversity. So let's hope they can do somewhat of a decent job on inclusivity and things like that. We also have new emblems rolling out for things like artists, features of the month, movie of the week, forum mods, volunteers, mentors, Bungie bounties, and fashion guardians. All new things coming in with Beyond Light, and some things are still in place right now. So you have a couple of weeks left to get a few of the emblems that are being produced right now with bounties and fashions and stuff like that every week. So make sure you keep posted on that. And for everybody helping out with the forums and all that stuff too, you guys get some cool recognition there as well. That's pretty much wraps it up. The meat of the TWAB was all technical this week with little mention about events leading up to November 10th. They do talk about having more things like double nightfall loot and other in-game rep gains. So always keep your eye out for that throughout the weeks and see what's going on. They usually throw those in there in the mix before the TWAB. So usually around Tuesdays on resets. So keep an eye out for that kind of stuff. And then maybe they'll talk about it during the TWAB of that week. Until the next video, y'all, peace.